Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and today's coverage is going to be on the vintage collection. It's Thursday, so I try to do my Thursday video on vintage collection. As always, thank you to my Patreon supporters, and I have a new Patreon that I need to give a shout out to and say thank you. Scott McManigal, thank you so much for becoming a Patreon supporter. And I also need to give thanks for a YouTube super from Darth Wizzy Wizard. He has a YouTube channel that I will put in the video description for this video. And make sure to go subscribe to Darth Wizzy Wizard. Thank you, man. I really appreciate the channel support from those of you that send supers, as well as obviously my Patreons. All right, so we've got some TVC 1.0. We've got some vehicles, a lot of vehicle sales this week. And then we'll finish things off with a few graded items, as well as two really cool customs that are scaled for the vintage collection that I wanted to show you that I thought were really cool. All right, so first is the Ultimate Galactic Hunt Foil Darth Vader VC08. Very nice example. And that one sold in a buy it now situation for $180. That's about what I sold my graded example for. So that was a big price for an ungraded foil VC08 Darth Vader. We had a VC20 Yoda, not the big boy, not the Canadian example with the alternate image card back. This is just the standard US card with the Revenge of the Sith card back. Still a great card back though. And that one was an unpunched US card again. $90 on that one. Pretty good deal on that. That's about the going rate, anywhere from 80 to $100, but $90 is kind of right in line. This was a big number for a auction on a punched example of VC34. I could see maybe that price for an unpunched example, but this one was the punched Jango Fett US card with the prototype Fett offer. And in an auction, it did sell for $132.50. This seller had zero feedback, so take that for what you will. I mean, it looks like a legit sale to me. I don't see anything that's sketchy about it, but we all got to start off somewhere selling on eBay with zero feedback. So apparently this one was zero feedback. If you happen to be the one that bought that, let me know if you got that okay. But, it had some edge wear on the back of the card. It's not like there was some pristine card. You can see some edge wear all along the right-hand side on the back of the card. And we've talked about this one recently, right? That VC34 has really come back down a lot. And the last few sales for punched examples are more like less than $100 now. So I would say that for a unpunched example, I could see that price. Typically, it's in that ballpark, $125 to $150. But this one has come way back down, and little surprised that this one went for what it did. But that's what it was. That's what the final sales price was. A couple of different Princess Leia slave outfits, VC64 sold. This one was a U.S. card unpunched, although it did have some kind of litho issues on the top of the card there, along with a scratch going through the warning sticker. So that one did sell for $250, and then another one sold in a buy it now, make an offer situation. This one was listed for $244.12, and in pretty good condition. The auction description says pristine. It was not pristine, okay, but it was in pretty good condition. I would argue it was in better condition than the last one that sold. Anyway, this one was listed for $244. The best offer accepted on that was $208. So $250 versus $208, you're talking, what, about a 20% discount, 25% discount, and it was in better condition. So just be patient on those and wait for one in a really good condition. And this one was in pretty good condition. I'm not trying to say it wasn't. It wasn't pristine like it was advertised, but it was in pretty good condition. Here was another Ponda Baba VC70, I believe. Yeah, VC70 unpunched US card with the prototype Fett offer. That one sold for $100, $100 on that one. And I think that the Cantina creatures, Dr. Evison, people like that, they tend to have bounced a little bit, although I would say that this price was probably on the lower end versus what I'm used to for Ponda Baba. Yak Face from the HasLab sail barge, the Katana sail barge. More on that in a little while when we get to some recent sail barge sales. But here is the VC000 Yak Face that was packed in with the sail barge. It was listed for $180. The best offer accepted on that was $150. So $150 on that. Pretty good deal there. Pretty good deal. Although it was not perfect. You can see there on the bottom of the card back that the bottom edge has some creasing going on. So not perfect, but $150. Higher grade examples, I would say 200 to 225. Graded examples can sell up to about $300 for the VC000 Yak Face. On to some vehicles. We've got I think this was a Kmart exclusive. Yeah, Kmart Star Wars Return of the Jedi AT-ST. And this one, I don't see the Kmart only at Kmart sticker on that one. I thought I had one, but maybe not. This one did sell factory sealed for $80. $80 plus $8 shipping. Pretty good deal there. That's a lot lower than what I'm used to for the Scout Walker. A couple of different AT-ATs that sold. First, this one sold for $535. This was a Toys R Us exclusive. And another one sold. It was listed for $536. The best offer accepted on that was $500. So two pretty tight data points for those of you looking for the Return of the Jedi packaged AT-AT. And we also had another Republic gunship sale. This one was in an auction from Brian's Toys. And the box was not perfect. You can see in the upper left-hand corner a slight color-breaking crease, and then another one in the upper right. So the box was not perfect, okay, but it was in pretty good shape overall for given the age of this thing. And it did sell in an auction for $560 plus $10 shipping on that one. And then the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run edition also did sell. This one sold for $800. That's at the upper end of the range, but it was also including free shipping with FedEx. So it included the original shipper box as well. So that's, I'm not trying to say that was a terrible deal, but that's probably in line with market after you factor in shipping on such a large item. But $800 took that one home. All right, and then as I talked about, a couple of different sail barges sold. This one was in an auction, and it was still factory sealed in the shipper box. And that one sold for $2,275. Pretty decent price there relative to maybe a year ago when this one was going closer to $2,800, $2,900. But $2,275 free shipping on that one. And then here was another one that was local pickup only, but I wanted to at least show it. This one sold for $22.99. So $22.99 for this one. Never taken out of the shipper box on that, double box. So pretty good deal there. And then a third one sold. This seller actually had 3 of them available for sale for $2,600. And all 3 of them did sell. So big price swings there. So $2,600, $2,300, and then $2,275. So anywhere from $2,275 to $2,600 for the Katana sail barge. All of those were within the last week too. So 3, 4, 5 different examples of the Katana sail barge sold this week. You never know what's going to happen on eBay. Pretty crazy. I've got a few graded examples before we dig into the 2 customs I wanted to show you. This one was a very high grade proof card. And I think I had this in my what to buy video, but don't quote me on that. This one was an AFA 90 plus archival case Princess Leia proof card. That one did sell for $150. And then here were the other ones I think I had in my what to buy video. I know I had these in my what to buy video last week. This one was an uncirculated CAS graded 85 plus Han Solo in carbonite. This is from the Jabba's Palace playset, and that one sold for $86. Pretty good deal there. And then the same seller also had an uncirculated 90 grade reyeast. That one sold for $88. So 2 pretty good deals there. And then finally, the same seller had an uncirculated 90 grade VCP03 rocket firing FET. That one sold for $220. So that seems to be about right for a graded example. Again, though, we've talked about recently examples that are still sealed in the factory white square rectangle shipper box that go for $100. And you can send that in yourself and roll the dice on it, or you can just buy one already graded. Spend probably, I think after shipping to and from the grading costs, it's probably going to work out to about the same price, about $220 or so. Usually you can get it for $100 to $125 ungraded. And then you got to factor in shipping to the grader and then shipping from the grader and also the grading costs. I think once you get it all said and done, you're going to be at $220 anyway. So I think that was a pretty good deal there for an uncirculated 90 grade. And then finally, we had a 9.0 AFA graded example of the Death Star 2 version of Darth Vader. This one was listed for $175, VC 280, and the best offer accepted was $135. That's a pretty good deal there. We've seen some data points that are much higher than that have sold even at auction or in Buy It Now. So $135 for, I would say, is probably my favorite recent release from the vintage collection. The Death Star 2 Darth Vader removable helmet. Awesome, awesome card back. $135. Great deal there. And then here are the two customs I wanted to show you. I mean, the figures are kind of funny. They look like bootlegs, but this is a custom Rancor layer pit main wall. And it's a little small, I would say. It looks a little tiny, but I do like it. I think it's a pretty cool looking, diorama for your shelf if you wanted to include the Rancor. I guess the Rancor could double over and get through that gate. And it looks a little small. It looks like it needs to be about double the size. But that one did sell for $100, and the seller has 3 more available, $28 shipping. This is that customs maker in Sri Lanka. So just keep that in mind. It takes a while to get here. But I've talked to several different people that have bought from this custom diorama maker, and they said that they've arrived safe and sound. So pretty cool. The gate does come up as well, although again it's probably a little too small. And then finally we had this one, which is the Bespin Dual diorama. And I think the only thing that would make it better is if the window would break away. Because, if you remember from the Bespin Duel scene, Vader kind of force throws some stuff through the window, and then Luke gets sucked out. So it'd be really cool if it kind of broke out. Kind of like the micro collection version of the Bespin area, where those windows kind of break, or the window breaks open. But I think, honestly, that's a really cool diorama. It's got the wrong Luke for this photo, but, you could have a really cool setup with Luke in Bespin fatigues and Darth Vader, and that would look really cool. So that one was listed for $125. 2 of them sold. He's still got 3 available. Again, you got to be patient and wait for the long shipping turnaround times. But I just thought both of those were really cool and worth showing. He's got others available too. I've shown them on the channel before, but I just thought that was a really cool one that I had not seen before that sold recently. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look for recent sales for the vintage collection. Thank you as always for the channel support, and I'll be back very soon.